Hello and welcome to another episode of the Couch Coaches podcast. And we are one day late, but that means we have even more stuff to talk about. We are football heavy, and then we had a nice little treat from our buddy Draymond last night that we will discuss at the end. But first, and we expect the Niners to win. This last three games was just a fluky kind of a thing. So let's start with the Raiders, who are on a winning streak and playing hard and looking much better, and the whole vibe and everything is very different. So Deacon Greg, please tell me about how you're feeling now as a happy Raiders fan.
Well, I'm glad you started out with the happy Raider fan, because I am a happy Raider fan, and there are a lot of happy Raider fans these days. Just the whole vibe with the team, you know, the way the coach got them playing, the guys, they just fired up and playing old school Raider football. Smash mouth defense is coming at them. You know, we didn't score a lot of points, but we ran the ball. You know, coach said we were going to run the ball. We ran the ball. Guys are flying around. Defense is playing pretty well. You know, they're holding up. I'm still a little concerned with our secondary. They kind of they really that pass coverage is a little suspect. But I like the way our especially Max Crosby. He's going to give you 110 every time, and the D line is holding up pretty much. Even in the run game, they were holding up. Linebackers are playing that. Spill, I can't think of this guy's name. 41 almost had. He got the interception late in the game to kind of saved it for us. Yeah, he's playing really well. So just liking my Raiders, liking what I'm seeing. We got to go to Miami. Miami's coming off of a bye, you know, and that's going to be a tall order to go down there. But what I do like is Miami's defense is not going to be like the Jets defense. Jets were stacking the line, daring us to run the ball. So our rookie quarterback came out and had to throw a lot of balls early, you know, but then we just, you know, hung in there, was able to get a running game established. I think we'll be able to run the ball more. The quarterback will be able to settle down more. Aiden O'Connell will be able to settle down a little more. And I think, I like our chances. It's going to be we're a 12-point underdog going into Miami. Yeah, 12 points. But that was yesterday. I don't know what it is today. But, yeah, I think they'll come in and put up a fight. I'm eager to see that game.
And Brother Bill, thoughts? I know one thought is they've been doing what you've been saying they need to do the whole year, which is run Jacobs. So thoughts on the Raiders, on the Reno Raiders, as you call them.
Yeah, I'm like the what?
The Reno Raiders, as you call them.
After a while, I lose track. That's all. You got to grab me some grace. I'm getting old. Anyway, I like the fact that their offense, that they have an identity on offense. It seemed even when Carr was there, it was difficult to see what their identity was. They would throw, I felt, more often than they should, and that would get them into trouble. They had to play from behind. So I'm glad to see that they, like, again, their strength is running the ball offensively and getting the ball in Jacobs. I shouldn't say running, getting the ball in Jacobs' hands, however they want to do it. I think if they continue to do that, regardless of the opponent, they can keep games closer later on into the game. Miami, I think, will be a tall order. If the Raiders set the tone defensively, it could be a very interesting game, because Miami Dolphins, they are a front-running team. They play well with the lead, but with a little bit of adversity, offensively, they tend to struggle. So that'll be an interesting game to see how they come out. I don't know if it would be an upset if the Raiders won the game, any more so than the upset when Denver beat Kansas City. I think it just comes down to styles. And do the Raiders defensively have a style to put pressure on Miami's offense? That'll be interesting to see.
If you're a 12-point dog, then it's an upset if you win.
12 points is a lot.
Well, you have to remember, that's the betting line. So, and I read this, I think it was in the offseason. There's two lines when it comes to games, right? There's the line that all the bookies set just to get action, because the bookies don't care who wins. They just want to make money, right? So there's the betting line just to get action on both sides. And then, behind closed doors, they know, who's the favorite to win the game, right? The betting line is just to get action. And so that's why I say, sure, the Miami is, you could argue, is the better team, but that's why they play the games.
Yeah, I'm wondering if that line has a lot to do with if you're with Deacon Greg, with your concern about the secondary. I wonder if that's really where that line's coming from, because if they're just gonna air it out the whole time, I mean, you'll know real quick where your secondary really is, because it did look a little weak, I would say, with against Wilson, but then that offense is doing absolutely every trick they can in the book to try to do something because their quarterback sucks. So I could see also where they were doing some pretty kind of weird stuff that they haven't had on tape that was messing you up. But Miami, I keep waiting for Miami to be really good, and maybe.
But when you got Tua and Tyreek Hill, that's that combination there is gonna cause some problems.
Yeah,
and don't forget the running game. Yeah.
So is Jimmy G is he just on the bench? Is he healthy and just second string quarterback, or he's out of there?
He's on the bench. I read something today. They might be trying to send him back to the Patriots next year for a 6th-round draft pick.
Wow.
Bill's gonna need, or whoever's in the page is gonna need somebody. I don't want to jump to that topic too quick, but we got to talk about our wonderful Niners going into Florida and taking an AFC playoff team and laying it on them for the Bill. I'm gonna get too excited. I'm gonna start screaming and stuff. So you be the voice of reason here. Let's talk about the Niners.
You can't say you made a statement because it was one game. I could tell that they were prepared for that game. I mean, it wasn't just a bye, just getting rest, and it wasn't just getting Debo and Trent back, but that defense set the tone of the game. Every victory, the defense has set the tone, not the offense. If you look at every game they played, even if the offense has scored like a field goal to start the game, it's the defense that sets the tone. And they were all over the quarterback and that offensive line the whole game. I knew the points were going to come once the defense was able to set the tone. And having Trent Williams back, seeing him not just run the ball, but on that Debo sweep in the third quarter, number 31 for the Jaguars, that dude was retreating as soon as he saw Big Trent Williams coming. Nope. And that's when you know a team has thrown the white flag. So I was impressed with the fact that the Niners came out ready to play that game. And it's going to be interesting to see if they can do that again against Tampa Bay.
I'm expecting them to just stomp Tampa Bay, but what happens after that game? Because it gets then it gets a little. We play Seattle like 2 times in 2 weeks, 2 times in 3 weeks.
Played Seattle twice in we have 3 games in 18 days.
Yeah, it's like Seattle, Philly, Seattle. So that's a heck of a stretch. One thing they were talking about with Chase Young and Bosa is that their strengths. Young comes on the inside and pushes the quarterback back. Bosa comes on the outside, so they're pushing the guy right into the other person. So they're like complementary wise, it's perfect because each one of them pushes the quarterback towards the other person. So this is going to be nice.
Yeah, they got away from having to blitz, and they, like I said, they were able to get pressure on their four, and they were able to get back to their style of defense, and that is put pressure with the front four, linebackers protect the middle, and you don't have to worry about exposing your secondary too much.
Yeah, and for them to not be able, because usually like Jacksonville has started slow, but then they get to they'll figure out something where they're slinging the ball. They never got to that point, which I really like that. And Baker's so screwed, so screwed this next weekend.
We'll see.
It's gonna be awesome. All right, Deacon Greg, say good things about the Niners.
I was my stomach's a little upset because it feels like I'm on a roller coaster when I listen to these Niner fans. You guys are like way up here and then way down here, and then you're to a loop and everything. So wow, man. I mean, and Bill's like, oh well, it wasn't because of the bye, and no, it was because of the bye, and it was because you guys were desperate. What did you guys do? Lose? What did you 3 on? What was it? 2 or 3 game losing streak? 3 game losing streak. And you're going to tell me that you wasn't desperate to come in here and do something after a bye? Really? Come on.
Yeah, it wasn't the rest wasn't why they won the game. Well, they won the game because
it was a number of reasons. It was desperation. It was the rest. It was you picked up a defensive lineman. All of that came in, and you got healthy. All of that. Come on, Bill. All of that came into play. Okay. So now you're in the second half of your season. See how long this lasts. You might get by Tampa Bay next week. It's going to get interesting down the stretch, and we'll see how long this adrenaline rush, this Red Bull, this Monster drink, or whatever you guys got going there. See how long it lasts.
Did you not hear a word of what I just said?
What?
It's gonna last.
Got back to playing Niners defense. The defense is the strength of the team, my brother. And they got back to that because they didn't have to blitz anymore.
It was one game. Okay, we're gonna see. We're gonna see.
Hey, that's what I said. That's exactly my point.
I do believe this is gonna last until about mid-February. So I think we have a ways to go. We'll have a lot of data by the Super Bowl when we win it.
Yeah, but just pump your guys' brakes. Don't
I'm not gonna handle myself. I will say this though. If they go into Seattle and beat Seattle on Thanksgiving, they're winning the division.
We will.
That I can say today.
You know what? And I would agree with that because Seattle to me ain't all that great. Seattle, that your division is not even. I mean, so big deal. You go beat Seattle. Go beat them.
But then Dallas has to come play us, and we get to beat Dallas again in the playoffs, which is love it.
Philadelphia Eagles.
It's gonna be the same NFC Championship game. It's gonna be the same, but except we'll be healthy and win. So
exactly, it's gonna first things first. Take care of Tampa, take care of Seattle, and you have an extra 4 days to get ready for Philly.
Philly's gonna be a good game. All right, shifting to the other side of the United States. If you guys are Robert Kraft, what do you do about Bill? Deacon Greg, I'll start with you. What?
You know what? I think Bill has ran his course. Belichick. I think Belichick has ran. I mean, everything has a time limit on it, and I think they're what are they 2-8 or 2-8? Come on, really? And what are you gonna do? I seen something earlier today. They were talking about getting Garoppolo back over there next year because he knows the system or whatever. They probably even go back and get Josh McDaniels but that's all retread. You're just retreading. The NFL has moved on. So I think they should let him go out. If he was smart, he'd just do it on his own, act like it's his own decision and bow out gracefully. But I can't see him turning that program around and them being dominant again.
Brother Bill.
They don't have a quarterback. And at a minimum, they need to let someone else handle the GM responsibilities. And if he wants to be a coach, so be it, regroup for next year. But the league has passed the Patriot way by. And that was exposed when Tom Brady left.
Yeah, so there was somebody reported today that he's lined up to take over coaching and GM of another team for next year.
I heard that also.
He drafts horrifically.
Yeah.
I mean, his kind of bread and butter was pulling people in from the league that are already kind of proved themselves and had their value was good. Like they were cheap. Like when he got Randy Moss from the Raiders, like they're going for cheap, but they're high.
But like you said, it was a destination because Brady was there. Like Moss, they wanted to go play with Brady. Nobody wants to. You're not going to get those players these days. Nobody wants to go there.
I can't. Any team that I think Kraft. What I think Kraft was doing was he signed to do an extension, and really what it is like we're going to sign you, so we're going to pay you whatever he gets a year, 20, 25 a year, and then the rest is kind of like your severance pay. Like we're going to let you go, but like here's $75 million for making me, $2 billion these last 25 years or whatever. So, but any other team that picks him up, unless he's been trying to drive the Patriot train into the ground on purpose because they made him trade Garoppolo instead of Brady, any team that picks him up for a GM and a head coach is out of their mind because he drafts awful. His team sucks.
I think his ego's too big to do like you said about driving him in on purpose and stuff. You can look at he looks like he's eating a lemon or something. His face and he just he
looks like that when he's winning too.
Yeah, but I think his ego's too big to lose on purpose. He's not enjoying this.
If he's not doing it on purpose, then he's doing a very, very poor job, and that's not a good. I thought it was last year when he had Matt Patricia be the OC. I'm like he's trying to kill this team, but Yeah, I don't know. Kraft's got to let him go. I think he's like 28 games away, something like that from the record. That's like 10 years the way he's going. So going from one bill to the Bills, they lost to Denver, which is they beat themselves. I think more than Denver beat them. They had so many mistakes, and then still almost got away with it at the end with the dude missed the field goal. So bad.
Have 12 men on the field.
Yeah, was the 12th man really Hamlin?
No, I don't think so.
That would be hilarious.
I'm not sure. Oh, that would have been awful. Oh god,
hilarious. Like welcome back. You lost the game. What do you keep the coach? Do you bring in like who's the OC you bring in? I mean, he's kind of gone downhill since Dayball left, but it's not like Dayball is lighting anybody on fire in New York. So if you're Brother Bill, I'm going to start with you. If you're the Bills ownership, what do you do with the quarterback coach OC situation?
see how it plays out. I mean, I believe that the firing of Ken Dorsey as their OC was a knee-jerk reaction to basically just embarrassing themselves on Monday Night Football. And he just became the scapegoat because they make the field goal. I mean, if they don't have the 12th man on the field and Bills end up winning the game, you think Dorsey would still get fired on Tuesday? No. It was just the fact they lost to the hapless Denver Broncos. They gave the game away, and it wasn't even just that play. The course of the game, when you turn the ball over 4 times against any professional team, it spells trouble. I mean, your odds of winning just go down dramatically. So to your point, yeah, they beat themselves, but it wasn't because of play calling. Specifically, it's their style of offense revolves too much around Josh Allen.
And
if he's your leading rusher, that's a problem. Now, you could argue with him, and then maybe that is OC. I don't know. I'm just saying that their problems are bigger than just their offensive coordinator. So what do? Let the season play out and hope they can somehow squeak into the playoffs, because if they lose on Sunday, they're going to be outside looking in, because you've got 4 AFC North teams, and all 4 of them can make the playoffs.
Which is insane. So at the end of so let's say they miss the playoffs. Do you fire the coach?
I think if they miss the playoffs, then Sean McDonough is going to be on the hot seat. Now, whether or not he gets fired or not, don't know. Oh, McDermott. I'm sorry, McDonough is a
announcer.
Yeah, McDermott. Yeah, so yeah, he definitely be on the hot seat.
Okay, Dean Greg, thoughts on the Bills?
Well, I think they better address that receiver Diggs. That's the problem. He wants out of town, and when you got your quarterback not targeting him, that's on you. That's on the OC also, Bill. You're the offensive coordinator. You got to design plays. You got to get your number 1 receiver. You got to get him the ball. At least target him to So I think that's the big issue right there. That's what caused everything to blow up. Is they're not targeting their number 1 receiver enough, and he's unhappy. He was unhappy from last year. So I think I was just like a snowball effect going on there. So, like you said, if they would have won the game, the OC wouldn't have got fired. He's not doing a great job. And the quarterback and the receiver are not on the same page. So they got to get that fixed.
Yeah, if I'm the coach, I say, and I wanted this last year. If I'm the coach, I go, look, I'm going to bring in Greg Roman, because he worked with running quarterbacks, and right now Josh Allen is playing like a quarterback that really shouldn't be throwing as much, even though he has got that huge arm, and every once in a while he's making these massive plays. But he needs a coach that kind of focus on the running, because they have a horrible running game. Get a running game going, figure out the schemes for that, and then kind of build out, almost build up the passing game again. Because if they don't bring in a killer OC, he has to go. Because there was so many signs last year, and I'm sure they're like, oh, we'll fix it, and then it's embarrassing. Like they're like, are they tied with the Raiders? 1 game up on there. I mean, they're like the Raiders and the Bills
are 4-5 or 5-5.
Are competing for a playoff
this
spot.
Is week 11. They're tied with the Raiders, 5-5.
Yeah,
who would have thought that?
So they're fighting for a playoff spot with the team that just fired their coach. That's not a good look at all. And it's not like their division's like killer. I mean, Miami's has a started out hot, but is cold. The Jets are terrible, and I think Rodgers coming back at Thanksgiving. Please come back so you can get hurt behind this horrific offensive line. It's so dumb.
It won't matter.
Just rest, dude. Like this offensive line's gonna get him killed. Okay, so now to my favorite topic of the evening is I think Dallas is the Hollywood bully who beats up on all the little kids badly and then gets their butts kicked every time the somebody their size or their age comes. It's like you guys seen that movie Dazed and Confused?
What was it?
This movie Dazed. Oh, never mind. I say Dazed and Confused because it has a dude who's like the big bully and beats up on all the freshman kids, but then he can't handle it. That's Dallas. And Dallas, man, when they look so good again, they look so good against the Giants twice, which is pathetic because the Giants it's like they didn't learn anything, getting murdered the first week. And then Dallas will go play a good team and look mediocre, and Dak will throw a bunch of picks, and it's like, talk about a roller coaster. But people talking about Dallas, Jerry Jones talking about Dallas is like, we're fantastic. Oh, we're the best team in the league. We don't need any new players. And it's like, oh, we're doing this. And oh, we play a crappy team and then we're up here again. And Dallas is oh my gosh. I don't know how Sister Leslie does it. I'd be sick to my stomach watching them from week to week because they look amazing one week and then suck the other. And the defining factor is whether the team is good or bad. Deacon Hill, since you so adamantly disagree, I'm going to let you go first.
And I do adamantly disagree. I earlier in the season, I said Dak was no good. He's all this stuff. Dak has been playing some good football, guys. I'm trying to tell you. And CD Lamb, I didn't think he was the number one receiver. Those guys are balling, guys. I'm telling you. Their weak link is their running game, and especially in the red zone. That's where they're shaky at right there. But Dallas, they got a defense. And Dak is playing for the football, guys. He's throwing the ball and he's running the ball. And I will say this: you're talking about, oh, they don't play this. They lost to the Philadelphia Eagles. The score was 28-23. That was a heck of a game. That game. So it's not that they don't play good against. It's all teams. They, any given Sunday we say that. They play whoever's in front of them. And I'm not going to say they play. They're the bully. Dallas is starting to turn things around. And you guys Niners better take notice because it ain't going to be the old Dallas that you faced earlier. I think that game just got away from them. They okay, go ahead.
I'm actually looking at Dallas' schedule. They have a very good chance to not lose another game.
I looked at that schedule.
Except for, like, I could see them losing they should lose to the Eagles again. The Bills, if they figure something else, could lose, and then the Lions.
Detroit's going to be around. They got Detroit, right?
Detroit's going to be tough, yeah. And I think that's going to be a big one. But they have a pretty easy schedule.
But Dallas is playing some ball, guys. I'm trying to tell you, Dak is playing. CD Lamb he's a number one receiver now. They got some stuff happening.
Okay, but we're gonna still knock them out in the playoffs. Hey, Brother Bill, thoughts on the schoolyard bully Dallas Cowboys?
Have you seen that movie where you have two people and some mad scientist takes and they transplant the brain from one and they put it they transplant the mind of one and put it in the other one? Somehow in the last week, Dean Gray has gone from being a Raider fan to being a Dallas Cowboy fan. I don't know how that happened.
Yeah, right.
I don't know if it's something in the water.
You and Joe need to get away from them analogies with them movies, okay?
the Cowboys are, if they're one thing, they're predictable. They will beat up on the less than average teams, but when it comes to a team that can run with them, why do you have red zone problems? It's because of your play calling, because you got a quarterback that you don't trust. That very last play, it should have been a pass play. They decided they were going to try to run the ball. They don't trust Dak. He had a good game against the Giants. You would have a good game against Giants. Joe would. I would. They're the Giants. Let's see how they stack up. If you look at that scale, Joe already talked about it. They're not going to beat the Eagles, even if it's at Dallas. They better take care of the Commanders, because that's a division game. And there's absolutely, positively no way that they should lose to the Panthers. They have a favorable schedule. That's going to be their ticket into the playoffs. But if they mess around, if they don't play the way they're supposed to, they could be on the outside looking in. What does Steven always just say? Just wait. Just wait. You got 8 games to go. They're going to show you who they are at the very end when it matters the most.
Yeah, in the playoffs. That's like somebody posts like the people that post the stats and they're like, oh man, look at this guy. He's an elite quarterback. Da, 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 da. It's like somebody posted that on Facebook the other day about how Dak's this elite quarterback because of the numbers. And you go, okay, look at the numbers. They look great. What are his numbers when it counts? Like when it really means something, like in the playoffs, they suck.
Elite, he has 2 playoff victories in 9 years.
Yeah.
All I can say is I go
2
by the
playoff
eye
wins.
test, and he's been playing. What I've been seeing lately, it has changed my opinion of the way Dak is playing. If he can keep the way he's playing now,
He won't.
Who do you think is a better quarterback, Dak or Brock?
They're kind of the same player. They're kind of at this point, they're kind of the same dude.
Over the last 17 games, Dak or Brock?
who
The
is
average?
They
Huh?
Brock's got better numbers.
who is Brock?
Who's Brock?
Never mind, man.
You know who Brock
I
is.
don't want to answer the question.
You know who Brock is.
That hat
guy.
won't let you answer the question. That's okay.
I don't know that guy.
Never mind.
You will. You will when he's holding the
You
trophy.
will.
like this.
Yeah, if you don't know, then you will. Yeah, you'll know.
Don't even go there. I didn't even want to go there. Bill's been chasing that. What number? What number are you chasing, Bill?
6.
That number you get.
What's that? Number 6?
Number 6. How long you been chasing?
Since 95. Same with me. Since 95.
95.
Bill's
Yeah.
been chasing number 6. You should see how excited he gets when that happens, and then same old thing.
Same old thing.
Be chasing it again.
Jeez.
We'll see.
Jeez.
We will see.
All right. To finish it up tonight, let's talk about the bouncer, Mr. Draymond Green. Who what I saw Rudy Gobert grab Clay, and I saw Draymond go, no. And he grabbed Rudy Gobert just the same way, but he didn't let go and dragged him across the floor and pulled him and did all. Yeah, it's a little longer. I didn't see other than it being Draymond. I thought his reaction to Rudy Gobert putting hands on Clay was okay. Obviously, Deacon Hill, you disagree, but I'm going to skip you and go to Brother Bill. Brother Bill, thoughts on the Draymond Green situation, which happened like 3 minutes into the game. I don't know how you have that much animosity going 3 minutes into the game. I do kind of like it. Just they're fired up for a game that means absolutely nothing at this point of the year. There's a lot of fire for 3 minutes in.
Yeah, I think that the 2 parts, Draymond's reaction, it didn't surprise you because that's Draymond Green. The chokehold, I'm sorry, that's over the top, right? Because that's not that a player has to remember, because I had this reputation and I have to think about how I'm going to react. No, that's spur of the moment. I get it. You're taking up for your teammate, which you're supposed to. What I did think was excessive was the 5-game suspension, when yet Gobert only got a fine. No other player was suspended. The guy who McDaniels, I guess, that got in started the fight with Clay in the first place, all he got was a fine. It was an uneven punishment between the Warriors' punishment, both guys getting ejected, Draymond getting suspended for 5 games. And the only thing that happened to the T-Wolves was 2 of their players got fined. Not even at all. So specifically about Draymond, again, his reputation preceded him, and that's I think the problem when you have that reputation, because we saw it with Ron Artest. Every time when Ron Artest, Metal Police, when he got into a scuffle, whatever the punishment was, they always got the hammer laid down on him, and that's something the Draymond have to come to grips with.
Wow, man, I just can't believe what I'm hearing here, especially from you, Bill, Mr. Peace-loving guy that I know. I can't believe this. You guys are so biased. It don't amaze me to hear this coming. First of all, here comes Draymond. I thought he was Superman. He flew guys from the back. Where is he coming from? And then he grabs this guy by the neck, and you could see the muscles. I didn't even know Draymond had muscles. You could see him in his arms. He got this guy so tight, and this guy is 7 foot tall. So that's when gravity takes over. You got a 7-foot guy trying to get pulled down to the ground backwards, okay? He could have choked that guy out. There's no way that basketball players, they always get in that what Clay and that other guy was doing, that little pushing, scrapping back and forth. They do that. Come on.
He ripped his jersey.
That was a little oh, you pulled my jersey.
He ripped his jersey.
Oh, okay. They got more jerseys in the back. Okay, we'll get you another jersey. You don't go choking nobody around the neck, pulling them down to the ground, and then and Gobert. He shouldn't have put his hands on Clay, but he wasn't choking Clay. He was putting his hands on Clay. Draymond comes right here. Draymond should get at least 5 games or more.
Say the first part of what you said again about Gobert. Say that first part again.
What?
He shouldn't have put his hands on Clay.
He shouldn't have, but he wasn't choking him.
Stop right there.
You don't know that? Did you ask Clay? Did you ask Clay if he was choking him? Did you ask him? We don't know.
You can't come through choking no one.
Rudy Gobert 7'2", Clay 6'7". If I'm a teammate, Draymond did what he's supposed to do.
He should have came in there. If he would have came in there and pushed Gobert out of the way, pushed him or whatever, got him out. You don't choke no one, Bill. You cannot choke anyone.
He wasn't going to choke him.
But he couldn't push him.
This is the NBA.
He couldn't push him because he was holding on to Clay. If he pushed him, he would have pushed Clay also.
Oh my
goodness!
I like the way
he wasn't gonna choke the guy.
I like what Gobert said. He said Draymond didn't want to play because Steph wasn't playing anyway. He was trying to get out of the game.
Well, it worked.
Yeah, that's Gobert.
You guys need to quit it, though. You two need to quit it.
Gobert.
I guess it's good to know if I get into a scuffle, I guess I know who has my back.
I got you. Joe. I got you, man.
Yeah, Joe got your back.
I'll choke him. I'll choke him. Don't worry.
I'll get a whistle and blow. Hey, break it up.
Yeah, I bet you will. I bet you will.
Get the Niners fans. All right, you guys. Hopefully next week we are both talking about our victories and whatever crazy stuff happens in college football. And I guess there's no crazy college football games this weekend, are there? It's next weekend. We got the big one. We got Michigan and Ohio State next weekend.
Michigan plays Ohio State.
Michigan plays Maryland this weekend, and Ohio State.
And then they play Maryland in the Big Ten tournament.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. But thank you guys, and go Niners.
Go Raiders. Enjoy that 2-game winning streak.
Don't say that, Bill. You'll jinx us. Yeah. Take that back.
Say it again. All right.
Cover the spread. Cover the spread.
Yeah. Please, let's be pathetic if you don't. All right, we'll see you guys next week.
All right, make me some money.
All right.